Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. On today's program, we're going to talk about and focus on the Suffolk Early Childhood Development Commission, and specifically a new video that they produced for both parents and kids alike to help with the transition into kindergarten. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by the Early Childhood Development Coordinator, Brenda O'Donnell. Brenda, thanks for being with us today.
Nice to be here.
Now, we're here today to talk about several things, but specifically this great new video that's now out there on the internet. It's also on the municipal channel, and it covers kind of two different aspects of starting kindergarten, or starting your education journey, if you will. And it's for both parents and for kids alike. But talk about, well, first of all, what's the name of the video?
Our video is Kindergarten Kickoff. We brought it here, the Early Childhood Development Commission brought it here. Mm-hmm. We actually got the idea from North Carolina.
Okay.
They did it in North Carolina, and we wanted to do something here similar. It's a great program. It's anything to help kids start their first day ready to go. And we were able to bring in some great producers.
Right.
Indigo Productions came in, and they filmed it right here in Suffolk.
Got it.
We used Suffolk people.
Nice.
Suffolk residents, Suffolk students, everything Suffolk.
Right.
So we were excited to have this here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it was grant funded?
It was grant funded
Okay.
through an Early Learning Challenge grant with Smart Beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
Smart Beginnings has since dissolved,
Right.
but we were able to use their grant dollars to create this video.
Now, the purpose of the video, again, is to help parents and children alike with that transition into kindergarten. But as far as, so you said, you know, this was done before in a similar fashion in North Carolina, but obviously Virginia, things are a little bit different. Every
Yes.
state has their own policies and the way things work. So what can people who watch the video, and again, there are two, correct?
Yes,
There are two
there.
parts of it. What are they going to expect to see?
Okay, the first one that was created the year before kindergarten, this video is really for parents. So they know what to do the year before kindergarten with their children to prepare them for their first day of school. The second video, A Day in Kindergarten, that is for the children. It actually walks the children through a school day from getting on the bus or parent drop-off through the whole school day till when they get on the bus or their parents pick them up.
So again, I guess for the children's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of alleviates the what's going to happen thing, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
But correct me if I'm wrong, the video is done directed at them. So again, it's the language and the way it's set up and everything.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and we were actually able to use two kindergarten teachers.
Nice.
They narrate the whole video.
Okay.
So it's coming right from the horse's mouth. I hate to say that
Right,
about them,
right.
but they did such
Yes.
a great job,
Right.
and they were wonderful. And they're actually who the kids are going to see on the first day.
Got it.
We were able to use the mayor, the superintendent, real faces of
Right.
Suffolk.
Right. So again, when they come to the first day after they've seen the video, they kind of know what's going to happen because again, you go into a big environment.
Right.
And yes, you may know some of the kids that are in your class, but you may not. So again, there's a lot of newness there. And I think all of us remember back to our days we started school. We always look
Yes.
forward to the first day of school.
Exactly.
But the first day of school can be a bit challenging at times because you think about this big building and again all these people inside running around. You know, if you're in kindergarten, you're going to school with kids up to 5th grade, so you get the big
Exactly.
kids there. But again, it
Exactly.
helps kind of break some of that down and correct me if I'm wrong, but takes them through, as you noted, the day. But simple things as getting in line, going to lunch, taking the breaks and the things that they do throughout the day. So really, it just boils down to it literally is a day in the life of a kindergarten class.
It is. It's actually really neat because it even talks about going to the lunchroom because that's a really intimidating part of the day
Right.
because the room's typically bigger. They need to know a lunch number. At first, they don't have to know it, but it actually walks them through knowing their number, punching their number in the little keypad. It goes through recess. It actually goes through all the specials that they do,
Right.
computer lab, art, music. So they're not afraid of that. And my favorite part of the kids' video is the teacher waves and said, "We'll see you tomorrow," because a lot of kindergartners, after the first day of school, they go, "Do I have to go back the next day?" And the teacher actually
Right.
says, "We'll see you tomorrow," because they do have to come back.
Got it,
And
got it.
that's one of the big shockers that this
Not a
is
one-day deal.
It isn't a one-day deal. This is just a fun day for kindergartners.
Good deal.
So I love that they added that in the video.
Now, I assume in making certainly both parts of the video, y'all work closely in conjunction with Suffolk Public Schools. Because again, obviously their regulations and the things that they do to organize their day, organize how the schools are run, so that way they really get a taste of what it's really like.
Exactly. We were able to go into 2 schools in Suffolk and, like I said, use real teachers. Everybody you see on the video is from Suffolk. Nice. So the teachers, the students, now they're much older now because it's taken a couple years sure. to complete this. Right. But it's real life, and it's exactly what parents have been looking for. Right. Because parents don't know what to do. What do I prepare to prepare my kids for kindergarten? Right. And what I love about the year before, it gives parents hands-on practical tips of how they can prepare their children for kindergarten, making lists when you go to the grocery store and having the child check them off. Right. That's literacy. Attending special events, going to church and singing songs, right. Attending going to gymnastics class or baseball, these things that right. we do, it's really teaching valuable lessons to prepare kids for kindergarten.
Now, as far as from the parents' perspective, their portion of the video, like you said, you don't want to sit there and go, well, it's first day of school, now what?
Exactly.
You want to help yourself, because again, it can be traumatic, and I say that in a joking sense, of putting that child on the bus for the first time, or if they drop them off at school, they're going into that new environment. And again, as a parent or a first-time parent, it may be like, well, I don't want them to do that, but they're going off there obviously to learn, but it helps ease the process both ways.
It does, it does. And for the day in the life of kindergarten, even though it's geared for kids, so they see what a day looks like, it also helps parents know what their kids are going to see in a day, what their teachers are going to look like, what they're going to be introduced to. They're going to be introduced to all the subjects, and not to be afraid of it. And for the parents' video, what to do a year before, they talk about how to introduce math in a practical way, science in a practical way, and things like taking your child fishing, which is a wonderful thing to do here in Suffolk. So the videos can be watched really by both families, parents, adults, and children. Sure. But there's also a third CD in the pack too, Tim, that tells the parents what they need on the first day. Got it. As far as documentation, they need their birth certificate. When they register for kindergarten, their birth certificate, their ID. So it lists everything they need, any tools they need for actual registration. Once again, we want their kids to enter kindergarten prepared on the first day. Emotionally, socially, cognitively, we want them ready. Got it. So.
Well, it helps. Again, it's that much less you have to do to get ramped up, because again, everything is still new and you're adjusting as it is, but anything you can do to help them get ahead is only going to help them and you in the long run, and the teachers in the classroom and everything.
Definitely. And one of the things the video talks about is self-help skills. That's really important when kids enter kindergarten, the ability to button their own pants, to tie their own shoes. If they can't tie their shoes, that's okay. They need Velcro shoes. That's fine. Not all kids can do that. So it's the whole child that this video touches on, and that's why we're really, really proud of it, to have it here in Suffolk. And we're the first in the region to bring it.
Very nice. Well, be a front runner in that capacity. Now, how can people either get a copy or view a copy? What are some of the ways that that's being done, how you're distributing it in the community?
Well, we have one. They're at every library, so we'll start there. We've distributed them to every child care center. You can also find them on the city website. There's links on the city website. There's also links on the school's website. And they can also contact me, and I'll make sure there's a video in their hand. They're also going to be delivered to each school for the schools to show them. So they're going to be all over town. And it's actually a YouTube link, so it's very easy to click and watch. They're about 14 to 15 minutes each. So they're not long. They're very enjoyable, very bright, colorful. Easy to follow. So I'm really, really excited that parents will have this tool. So when they'll be ready the first day of school. Exactly.
And of course, we'll also be I have been airing the video on the municipal channel. And we'll continue to do so. But as you noted, now what is your website address, URL?
Yes, www.suffolkecdc.com.
Okay, good deal. And we'll refer to that a couple times throughout the interview today, but have it up on the screen as well, so people can go there and view that. Now, just anything in the context of making the videos, or things that maybe either you learned or you've certainly information and knowledge you've acquired through your time here with the city, as far as tips and things you would offer to parents and to children alike for getting ready, any basic things. I know you've talked about kind of how the day goes and everything, but what are some things, some maybe basic things? You talked about getting the information together for the parents, because again, you want to have that at registration and not go, oh, wait a minute, I don't have that, and then there's a time delay because you have to go get that.
Exactly. One of the big things is a physical. They have to have a physical and all their health forms turned in on when they register. Don't wait until August or the beginning of September. It's just the lines are backed up. All the doctors are full. So what I would recommend is for parents to make their appointments right now. Go ahead and get those physicals, make sure all the shots are up to date. And all you do is have to ask your doctor. They'll print out all the paperwork for you to turn in. But that's a big one that you can get done now, because that will hold you up from starting the first day. That will definitely hold you up. But make sure you have your original birth certificate. If for some reason you've lost that, you can now get them at the DMV. That's an easy fix. Very necessary. And you also have to have a recent utility bill to make sure
to prove where you live.
To prove where you live, gas, electric, or water. So, but that has to be within 30 days. Actually, the school is hosting kindergarten registration day on May 13th. All the schools will be open from 9 to 5. Go on into the school closest to your home. Make sure you get registered. And if you're missing something, you have some time, because that day comes and there's a lot of people that don't know school starts until they see that school bus go by and go, oh my gosh, I forgot.
But
that's too late.
You talk about the physical, and like you said, if everybody's trying to go in at the same time, if you get ahead, then it's done, out of the way, you've got it squared away. And as you noted, the day, May 13th, I think
May 13th, yes.
So I'm sure they'll be covering, again, some of the information that you're going to need to have when you come back, or need to have it, if you don't have it that day, to get it turned in and everything squared away.
Exactly. That's the best place. So if you forget something when you get there, they'll say you need this, but you need to get it right away. Especially like the health and physical records, because the doctors only have so many appointments. So you need to make sure that you get in and get those done as soon as possible. That's something that's easy to do.
All right. Well, Brenda, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll come back and talk a little bit more, I should say, about what the Early Childhood Development Commission here in Suffolk does, and some of the interesting programs and things they have coming up. So be sure to stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined again by Brenda O'Donnell, the Early Childhood Development Commission Coordinator. And Brenda, thanks for being with us one more time. Let's talk about the ECDC, as it's known. The organization, what is the purpose of the organization, and who are some of the people that are part of it?
We are really lucky to have a lot of great early childhood people around the table. We have people from OBC, the hospital. We have people from social services, the schools, of course. We have some great, they're retired now, but people that have started child care centers in the community, taught at TCC. We have a lot of great people around the table that have just such a wide range of knowledge when it comes to early childhood. There's just a wonderful group of people. But the Early Childhood Development Commission, our focus is from birth to 8. And we focus on the whole family, whole child, anything pertaining to up to 8 years old. But we definitely address social, emotional, definitely cognitive needs and of the child and the family. To make sure that child is ready on the first day of school.
Got it. Now, one of the things the ECDC does, and the folks you work with do, is organize some great events. And we have one coming up in mid-May, May 20th, I believe. Kids Fest. Now, actually, this is part 2 of the 2-part series, so to speak. We've already had Kids Fest 1, so to speak. Now let's go to the one we have coming up on the 20th. What is Kids Fest? Where's it going to take place? And the magic question, does it cost anything?
Exactly. No, it is free. So let me start off there so people listen. Kids Fest is free. Our May 20th event will be held at Kids Zone Park behind the Farm Fresh right off Main Street. It's a wonderful event. We have it on a Wednesday from 10 to 12. And the reason we do that is to keep those big kids out and the little kids can have fun. We work with Parks and Recreation. They bring bounce houses. We have a petting zoo. We have blocks. We have face painting. We have all kinds of, we have police cars out there. We have so much to do, and it's just for young kids. And it's all free. And this year we are going to have an ice cart there and passing out Italian ice to everyone that participates. But they can register if they'd like. They can contact me at the office, or they can just show up. It's a free event. The more the merrier. Just come out, have fun, and play. It is so much fun.
Now, you've been doing Kids Fest for a while now.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Again, I guess every year trying to add something new to it and give it a new little twist.
Yeah, every year gets bigger and better. And the people that do come just are wonderful. They bring Karen Gunter with the Prudence Center. She brings early childhood students out. They do face painting, games, the Teeny Tiny Farm. They come out and bring the most adorable animals you've ever seen. You can't leave with any, but you can touch them and leave with them. You could leave them there though. But the kids love the fire trucks. The police officers come and they've started doing the fingerprinting. and they can get, some of the police officers even let the kids press the little button. It scares the horses from the teeny tiny farm, but that's okay, no worries. We have so much fun out there. The blocks are a big hit, the Play-Doh. It's just fun, and we do it around the park. So if you're familiar with Kids Zone Park, there's a walking track. So we set up all the vendors around the track, and then if the kids get bored, because kids get bored, there's a playground right there to play. A lot of families too bring their lunch when they come, and after the event's over and we're breaking down, they get under a tree or get under one of the pavilions and have a nice healthy lunch.
Very nice.
And from what I understand now, there's a wonderful walking trail back there. So to take advantage of that would be a wonderful thing.
So really we're looking for good weather.
Good weather.
A great event.
We always have good weather.
Good deal. Now, as far as any sponsors you have that help you put this on, I know you talked about all the organizations that participate with, bringing out their wares, so to speak.
Exactly. Well, the big one is Parks and Recreation. Okay. They're the big sponsor, but the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts usually comes out and they do a craft. Nice. We have Healthy Families come out and they work with kids, and they have healthy obstacle courses and fun to how to teach your kids how to play in the backyard, do some hands-on. We have the Prudence Center. They come out and, like I said, do the face painting, but it's mostly the Early Childhood Development Commission. They do all the coordinating, and we have a lot of volunteers, a lot of help, and you just can't go wrong at one of Suffolk's parks. They're just so much fun. Indeed,
and that's one of our jewels in our Parks and Rec's crown, right there.
We're so lucky. Actually, Lakita Frazier is on our commission too, and so we have a strong presence, strong working relationship with Parks and Recreation, and I'm so glad because kids need play.
Yes, they do.
It's so important.
And again, with all the natural resources that we have to offer in the city, it's a great fit for...
It's a wonderful fit. Yes, it is. And we love having Lakita on our commission, and we love being able to use our parks and getting the kids to play. And I didn't know, before I came to work for Suffolk, I didn't know about Kids Zone Park.
Right.
And now it's our favorite park. So anytime we get the day off, we take the kids out there. The walking track is beautiful, and I'm so glad they're adding all those wonderful amenities out there.
Indeed, that park continues to grow, but again, as does Suffolk as a whole, so we all know that. So.
And each of these Kids Fest events, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We started originally 5 years ago. We started this event, a Kids Zone.
Right.
And a year after the event, the commission came to me and said, let's do 2 events. So we started one up at Bennett's Creek, and that's our first event. But this event tends to be bigger. We have 400 to 500 people there.
Great. And so again, open to anybody as long as...
Anybody.
So really, what's the target age range for kids you talk about to come to the event?
For the event, it's really 0 to 5 because we purposely hold it during the school day. Sure. Unfortunately, when you have big events, the bigger kids kind of take over. Not purposefully, but they're bigger, stronger, smarter. It's just, it is what it is.
Yes.
So this event is really for the little ones just to play and have fun, and so those big kids won't get in their way. So it's actually a great opportunity for parents that have older kids in school to bring their younger kids and see, just all the fun they can have in one day. It's so much fun.
Well, fun, and sounds like a lot of great information as well for parents to kind of maybe take home some information and maybe plan for kindergarten or plan for some of these other things.
Suffolk Public Schools will be out there. They will have a table.
Good.
And there'll be packets out there for kindergarten registration and all that information. So that's a wonderful, wonderful, place for parents to get information and ask questions like, what school is my child going to be attending? Correct. So it's very helpful.
Good, good. Now, this is just one event of many that your organization does throughout the year. Yes. And it's not just for the kids and the parents or families, we'll say, it's also for educators as well. What are some of the other types of events that the ECDC puts on throughout the year?
Throughout the year, we train child care providers. That's one of our big charges. Right. And at the first Saturday of each month, typically we have a training for child care providers, and we hold it over in the Department of Social Services, and it's open. We aim for Suffolk providers, but any empty seats we have, we want the community to come and share and learn from the people we're able to bring in. So we do those throughout the year. Okay. We do some big events. We also do parent trainings. We are partnering right now with Suffolk Public Schools and doing a parent university. It used to be a once-a-year event, and right now we're changing formats to where we'll do it throughout the year. Oh, so parents get constant exposure to important information. We also have our website where they can have great links to the community and information there that is valuable to parents.
Correct. Well, again, and the website's a nice tool because you can see the events that are coming up. You can also get access to the videos that we talked about in the first part of the show, as well as any other resources that the ECDC can offer.
Exactly.
And correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to child care facilities, if you're trying to find one that you'd like your child to possibly attend, there's a state rating system or something that you can tap into to kind of get some information. Talk a little bit about what that is.
Well, there's 2 ways to go if you're looking for child care. One, and they are both linked on our website to answer that question, but the first way is just just to go to the Virginia Department of Social Services website. And in that website, you can find child care providers in Suffolk, homes and centers.
Okay.
You have both options, and it tells if they're licensed, religious exempt, all the options. But it also, but they're monitored.
Right.
So you can actually click to see if they have any violations. So if you're looking at a child care center for your child, for example, you can go, okay, what kind of violations do they have? And you want to look at the violations. You want to see if they're really important violations or they forgot to lock a cabinet, because that little stuff happens too.
Right.
So that's one way. But there's also a link on there for Smart Beginnings website, and that link will actually tell you the sites in our area that have gone through a star rating system, which is above and beyond which you'll find on the VDSS website. So that's a great place for parents. I get a lot of asks about child care and which one would you pick? Well, of course I can't recommend or refer.
Of course.
But I always look for the centers that go above and beyond, that have gone through that star rating system. And we have a couple here in Suffolk that are just, we have homes and centers that have gone through it and have some really good ratings.
Right.
So check out those through the Smart Beginnings website, and there's a link on the ECDC website for that. But that is I'm glad you brought that up, because it's so important for parents not only to know what the basic requirements are, which is licensure and what VDSS monitors. It's very important, but there's also that added tool now. They've had to go above and beyond, and they're doable. So we really want to encourage parents to ask about that.
Yes. Well, and I think that's the biggest thing when you're facing trying to determine what you're going to do about child care, is having options.
Yes.
Because again, every situation may not fit for you or your child, but again, to have an array and have a system that's in place that you can kind of do a little research before you walk in the door. And certainly it's good to know that Suffolk has such a rich array of those resources out there, because again, parents looking for, to do whatever they need to do, go back to work, or they need to continue at school themselves, and you want to have your child cared for. I mean, again, great resources to tap into. You
want them in the best possible environment. And some advice I always give parents is to just stop in.
Right.
That's really important when you call a child care center. If they say you can only come during these times, sometimes there are times that are more convenient for the child care center, but you should always be able to drop in, and you should be able to walk anywhere in that center and see what's going on in the day. And I always tell parents to trust their gut, trust how you feel on the inside about the center, because we each have our own little nuances with we know what how our kids, where our kids would do best.
Exactly.
And so if the center might be too loud for your child, it might be too quiet, they might not do enough field trips. They might look at their playground space. That's so important. You want to make sure there's great playground equipment, great play space in the rooms, outside. So how you feel about it as a parent.
Good tips, good advice. Well, Brenda, before we leave, I'd like to give you an opportunity if people would like more information on any of the topics we covered, or in just general information about the ECDC, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can call me directly, 514-7457. That's my direct line. Call me.
All right.
Ask me any questions you like. But if you ask about like a property bill, I can't help. Which I get that question.
Draw the line somewhere.
Draw the line.
Yeah,
Early childhood. I'll help you. But also our website, SuffolkECDC.com. I know we're linked through the city's website. We have our own direct website. So definitely would love to meet. And I also encourage people, if they see something on our website or don't see something on our website that they're looking for, to let us know, because this commission is formed for the betterment of children and families. So if we're missing something, or if people out there see an area where they think we might need to strengthen, please don't hesitate to ask, because that's what we're here for. We're here to work with the families of Suffolk. We want to see them thrive.
Good deal. Well, again, a great objective, a great mission, and it sounds like you're doing great work.
Thank
so
you.
Again, it really works for everybody in the community. So thank you and the ECDC for what you're doing.
Yes, and one day these little kids are going to grow up, and we want them to be successful.
That's right.
Really represent Suffolk well.
Good deal. Well, Brenda, thank you very much for spending time with us today. And that will do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.